and we have LSU taking on Ole Miss, and this is an LSU team that you saw in person, Iveta. Ole Miss coming off a loss against Alabama, which was a game we talked about last week, and I'm kind of glad I stayed off of it because I was leaning with Ole Miss, and yeah, Ole Miss in the second half of that game just could not generate yards offensively. And then LSU, kind of a weird game against Arkansas last week. Arkansas covered, and I don't know if they were kind of overlooking Arkansas, but yeah, I'm glad I wasn't on that one either, unless I was going to be on the Arkansas side. I'm showing the spread here, -2.5 for LSU, a total of 66.5, 67, depending on what book you're looking at. What are your thoughts with this game?
This is kind of a tough spot. I'm not running to the window for this game. I think it can really go either way. My lean is LSU. They have looked pretty good overall since the FSU loss. Uh, but then again, Ole Miss after the Alabama game, I don't know. I think talent-wise, LSU should be able to cover that, but I could see this being a close game. I mean, isn't I heard a stat yesterday, and I didn't actually confirm it, but I think Ole Miss's leading rusher is Jackson Dart. Is that
Yeah,
true? He leads the team in rushing yards?
yeah, which is weird because Judkins, he was the stud last year, and like this season, I don't know what's going on. I would have to like watch the tape, but I think his yards per carry was just way down. I don't know if teams are trying to like load the box against him,
Mhm.
but it doesn't really make a lot of sense because he was spectacular last season and he's getting touchdowns still, but yeah, his efficiency has really dropped. So that's a little bit of a concern. I mean, 3.5 yards is what he's at, and last season he was at 5.7 yards per rush. So yeah, that was a really good point to bring up. And Dart not only has to make plays with his arm, he's been making plays with his feet too.
Right. So, and both teams are fairly beat up. They're tired. I don't know. It's one of these things where, uh, maybe even, I, I don't know. What's the total? That might be a lean for me.
66 and a half, 67 and a half, depending on what book. Are you leaning under?
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go under here. I don't know. I mean, LSU is they're definitely the more Jaden Daniels is pretty efficient. I think that they could win this by 7 or it could be a close game. Um, but yeah, I mean the Judkins thing is just wild. He was one of the best rushers in the SEC last season.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, but then again, the LSU misses a lot of tackles. I don't know. That's what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so my thoughts, I guess, I would lean with Ole Miss, I think, partly because I think Alabama defensively really stepped up in that game. Like, I think it was more what they did on defense than, bad play on offense from Ole Miss.
Mhm.
And I think Ole Miss coming off of that game, I think they'll be in a decent spot back at home. I was just curious, and I was looking up just kind of the results of this rivalry, and it looks like LSU won last year, 45-20, and then the year before that, when it was in Oxford, um, 31-17. Ole Miss won. That's when they were ranked 12th, and I think that's when they had would have been Matt Corral. Um, I think he would have played in that game. I know he had an injury, but a lot of different players. I don't think Brian Kelly was even there. But anyways, yeah, I just think that LSU may be just a tad overvalued, and I think with the points, maybe take Ole Miss. Kind of curious what the money line is here too. Looks like plus 127, plus 127 on Sport Trade. Not bad. I mean, that might be the look for me. We'll see. Even DraftKings has it at plus 140. I might have to look a little more into that, but that would be my lean as of now is the Ole Miss side.
Interesting. Yeah, that I'm just jaded by the Ole Miss side because I took them to cover against them.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't
So
looking bad at first, but yeah, the second half was just like I I I wasn't watching it, but I just was looking at some of the stats and I'm like, a lot of 3 and outs, just a lot of empty possessions. So yeah.
yeah, but you're right, they're not a bad team, so, I mean, this could be the game that they show up for given their but I just see it going, at a slower pace just due to both of the games that both teams just came off of,
Hmm.
just more physical just I mean, like you said, that Arkansas game was weird, so, yeah, but I don't know, I will probably just stay away from this one altogether.